What's up guys, it's Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I wanted to show you guys a Linux distribution created by System76 called Pop! OS. Now, as I stated in the intro of the video, Pop! OS is a Linux distribution developed by System76. Now, this company is one of the best options when it comes to Linux laptops. Therefore, they developed their own distribution to complement their top-notch hardware that they use in their systems. And by developing their own in-house distribution, they have some of the most reliable Linux laptops that work perfectly out of the box. Now in this video, I want to specifically focus in on the distribution and do a quick review just to show you guys how to actually install it and how to actually use it. But Pop! OS was built on Ubuntu, therefore you have access to the vast repositories of open source software and development tools. And just a quick side note, Pop! OS was first released in October of 2017. Now let's go down and go to their website right fast so I can read a little bit about it and just show you some of the information they have on Pop! OS. Okay, so I'm at the Pop! OS website. It's basically pop.system76.com. And if you click on Pop! OS, like if you go to system76.com and just click on Pop! OS, that'll take you to this website right here. But it states, welcome to Pop! OS. Pop! OS is an operating system for STEM and creative professionals who use their computers as tools to discover and create. Unleash your potential on secure, reliable, open source software based on your exceptional curiosity. We sense you have a lot of it. And this is basically how you download it. Just click download. That'll pop up with a download link. You just click download. They have an NVIDIA version as well as the regular version, which is Intel. And these are the base requirements. So 2 gigabytes RAM, 16 gigabits of storage, 64-bit processor. And here's the recommended, 4 gigabytes RAM, 16 gigabytes of storage, 64-bit processor. And the file size is 2.9 gigabytes, and the NVIDIA one is 2.36 gigabytes. And they have a SHA-256 for the Intel version, and then for the NVIDIA version. That way you can verify your ISOs. So let me close that right fast and just go and read a little bit more. It says streamline your workflow. Pop! OS is designed for fast navigation, easy workspace organization, and fluid, convenient workflow. Your operating system should encourage discovery, not obstruction. And we scroll down, it breaks it all out, what they do, what they offer in the distribution, auto tiling with pop shell, workspaces, so multiple workspaces, keyboard navigation. And if we go down a little further, it says development tools work flawless. So deep learning tools, they have, TensorMan, PyTorch, and then engineering, your Visual Studio Code, Postman, Android Studio, media production, Blender, and a lot of these applications are offered in most distributions of Linux. They're just specifying what they, have and support. So, or it's bioinformatics, or Bowtie. And cool, if we scroll down a little bit more, this goes in, it talks about their hardware. So they have, like I said, they have their own laptops that they create, their desktops that they create, and then this is like a mini system, the Mercat, from what I remember. I looked at it once before. It's a cheaper, smaller board desktop. So if we go down a little further, encryption out of the box, update on your terms so you can upgrade. I mean, this is just like, any distribution, privacy, firmware management. But the great thing about Pop! OS, is built for their hardware. So it supports everything dealing with their hardware. So if you purchase one of their laptops, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm not sponsored by System76. I just wanted to review their distribution. But System76, if you're listening to this video, I would love to review some of your hardware. So just hit me up if you guys want to, work together. But anyway, Let's go down compatible software tool. Now, one thing I like about it, they have a cool app store. You know, it looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of the Android Play Store or the iOS store. Like the design of it, the way it looks, it looks pretty cool, man. So, and it has all the standard applications you can install on most Linux distributions. And if we go down a little further, it's just talking a little bit more about the system. They have hybrid graphics, use your GPU on lunch, gaming, which all of them have Steam, Lutris, you know, Game Hub, some other options like do not disturb that's built into the desktop environment. And then they also have a dark mode, which is pretty cool, you know, and they put it on the website, which I thought was cool. You know, you can darken the website. And that's pretty much how the desktop looks with that orange or yellowish orange looking color. So when you have it installed, that's what it kind of looks like. So pretty cool. And then here's another download link. And then also you can support System 76 by either sending money or supporting this project on GitHub, because they do have a GitHub. So if you want to try to support, you can go to their GitHub. Yeah, so these are their links. They have a Pop OS docs, and then Pop community. They have a community board. So, and then you can check them out on all the social media platforms as well. But let's go down and get into the install of Pop OS. I want to walk you guys through it. I already have the ISO downloaded, so we'll pop right into VirtualBox and go down and get the install going. Okay, cool. So I already have the virtual machine set up, so we can go down and get started with the installation. I didn't want to walk you guys through setting up VirtualBox. It's pretty simple. I've done it in plenty of videos, so just check out my past videos if you need help with setting up a virtual machine in VirtualBox. But I gave it 2 processors. I gave it 4 gigabytes of memory. I also set the network to bridged adapter, so it'll get its own IP address for my network. But let's go down and start up the virtual machine so we can get the installation up and we can start. And when you boot up the live CD or the live USB, however you have it set up, it'll pop up with the OS, it'll pop up with the installer. And so one thing I'm gonna do is fix the display. That way it'll show properly in OBS, so you guys can see the full install properly. Let's keep changes. Go down and change that. And here we go. So this is the installer. Like I said, it'll pop up as soon as you boot up the system. So you can go down and start installing it. So we can go select US and then United States. So just select whatever language. And then this is the keyboard layout. So I'll use English US, and then the default. And what we want to do is actually do the clean install. Now you can click this button right here that says try demo mode, and that'll open up a full desktop. That way you guys can, you know, try the system before you actually install it. And I would recommend people doing that in order to find out if your system will fully support Pop OS. And so let's just go down and click clean install, because I have like a 20 gigabyte hard drive for this system. And let's go down and hit clean install. And then right here, it just wants you to select the drive. Like I said, I had like a 20 gigabyte drive. So erase and install. It's a brand new system. And then also you can set up disk encryption, which I'm not gonna encrypt. And it's a good thing they put this in the installer. Try to get people to encrypt their systems more often. But anyway, let's go down and hit don't encrypt for me. And this will go down and start the partitioning and installation of Pop OS. Like I said, it's a pretty simple installer, and it shouldn't take that long. Like I said, this is on a virtual machine, but we're gonna go through the install, and I'll play a little music in the background, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, cool. So as you can see, the installation is complete. So the next thing you want to do is restart the device. Now, one thing I wanted to point out to you guys for this distribution is pretty much set up so when they sell their laptops or their desktops, you can ask for the distribution to be installed by default. And similar to Windows, when you get a new laptop, you have to set up the accounts and all that stuff as soon as you start up the computer. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't walk through the process of setting up the accounts until you actually do the first reboot of the system or boot up of the system. And this makes sense because it's, like I said, it's their distribution. So when they sell a laptop or whatever, they just install the operating system. And then when you receive the product, as soon as you hit the power button, you know, it'll ask you to set up those accounts and finish setting up the system. So let's go down and reboot the device right now and wait for it to come back up, and we can finish the setup process. Okay, cool. So it pops up, like I said, with a welcome page. Let me go down and I'm gonna move it down for a second because I want to get the display settings right. And let's see if we can do it. And it won't let me do it until I complete this. So let me just go through and complete this. So you could turn on location services. I always opt to turn that off because I like to not have, you know, location services on my systems. And this is perfect right here for the time zone. I'm on the West Coast, so and then we're gonna skip this. This is how you connect to your, you know, different accounts. You can set up your Google account, you know, Facebook, all that good stuff. But we're gonna skip that for right now. And like I stated, this is where it'll go on and create the account for you. So I'm gonna just type Josh here as the username, and then it'll ask you for your password. So you type in a super strong password. I'm gonna just make mine simple and press next. Let's wait for this thing to, okay, all right, cool. So it's done. And what it's gonna do is kind of like reload the system and start it back up. And it should be prompt to a login page. Well, no, it goes right to the desktop. So let's go on and change those display settings, because I like for you guys to see the full desktop. So let's change the resolution. Boom, boom. Keep changes, and let's close that up. Boom. Okay, and so the first thing you want to do when the desktop is up is go down and update the system. Now you can open up their store, which I'm gonna go through and show you guys the store, or you can go to the command line. It's basically like Ubuntu, so you can do a sudo apt updates and press enter. Type in your sudo password, and also go through and check the Ubuntu repositories. And as you can see, this one has 296 packages that need to be upgraded, and I'm not going to upgrade it right now. I'll just upgrade it a little later, but that's how you update the system, in case you wanted to know. So let's start off with the right side. This is it's basically GNOME. So if you've used GNOME before, then you'll pick this up rather quickly. You know what I'm saying? You got your wire connections, you know, your battery settings, you know, other settings. You can go into your main settings, and let's go there. And it's basically, like I said, the GNOME desktop environment. So you can go through and, you know, set up a different desktop, or a background. And let's go on and do that, change that up a little bit. But notifications, so this is what it'll notify you based on whatever settings you have. So like if you run like an archive or something, it'll alert you on the right hand side on the completion of it, or when it completes. You have, you know, different other settings in here for notifications, and then you can also turn them off. You know, you could put on do not disturb or lock screen notifications. You can show those, so when the screen is locked, it'll show the notifications on the screen, which I don't like, because if somebody goes in front of my computer and looks at my notifications, and actually I don't have these notifications on at all anyway. So, but they have other options like searching. You can search through, this is the search feature. You know, it'll search through these applications as well as, you know, information, so you can, you know, quickly find things. That's what that's for. And then it's the application settings, so you can go through each one of these applications that are on the machine and just change settings based on what you need to change. Privacy settings, they have connectivity, location services, Thunderbolt, file history, and screen lock. And then here are the online accounts. Like I showed you in the beginning when we did the install, you can actually go in and set those up after the fact. So if you have an email that you want to show up in Evolution, this will help you out with connecting to those accounts and those cloud accounts. Sharing, you can set up sharing, sound, power, display, mouse, touchpad, keyboard shortcuts, you could change those. Printer, you can set up your printer. As you can see, it already pulled up my printer that's on my network. So it's already connected to it, or not connected to it, but you should be able to, no, it is connected to it. So I should be able to print right off. And that's just by installing the system. I didn't add the printer, I didn't do anything. It found it and actually added it on my network. So removable media, so whenever you put something into plug something into the system, you know what to actually do. And then color settings, you could change some of the color settings, and this is for the printer right here. Virtual monitor, firmware, region, language, universal access. So these are just some more settings. You can zoom in, all that stuff. You can set up more user accounts if you need to, or make changes to your account. And then let's see, default applications. This allows you to set up default applications based on what they do, like as far as your web browser. You know, right now it's set up to Firefox. It comes with Firefox. There's Geary for mail, calendar, and this is the application for your music and videos. It's the video application. And then they have an image viewer for photos. And then also you can go in here and change the date time settings. You can go through and modify that if need be. And here's the about me section. As you can see, it's Pop OS. That's the device name. You can go in and actually change the device name if you want to. I'm gonna cancel that. So that's basically the host name. Then the memory, and then the processor. I have two processors in there, graphics, and then the disk capacity. And as you can see, the OS name is Pop OS 20.04 LTS, 64-bit architecture, GNOME 3.36.2, and then the windowing system is X11, and virtualization is Oracle. And that's because this is an Oracle virtual machine, virtualized virtual machine. So then they have OS upgrade. You can upgrade from the settings. So that's one cool feature about that as well. Cool. And so up here we also have the battery settings. Yeah, all the network settings, sound settings, and battery settings, and then other settings. This is the desktop, so you can turn on tile windowing. And here are the shortcuts. That's super cool that they have the shortcuts up there. So you can actually, you know, just kick off certain things. They have certain ones set up. You can show active hints. So depending on what you're trying to do, it'll give you hints. And this is your calendar. Like I said, if you know GNOME, you know, you'll understand how to actually use this. And then right here, activities, this will open up, you know, all your applications. And you can actually start typing to search for whatever you want. So let's say you want to look for Firefox, which is already there, or whatever you want trying to look for. And then these are your favorites. You got your web browser, file explorer, which I'll open that up so you guys can see what it looks like, and close it right fast. And then the terminal, which I already opened up. And then here is the pop store, which is something that I wanted to show you guys. Now this thing is going to try to update since I haven't ran any of the updates, but I just wanted to show you how cool I have it set up or whatever. Now it looks good in Ubuntu, but it looks very good in Pop! OS. I like the way this actually looks, the way they designed it, and the way you could click on the different categories. You know, it's got these big buttons for you to click on. Kind of reminds me of the App Store. And then also it pulls up the pop picks. So this is the applications they recommend you install. So, you know, Atom, that's for, I've done a video on Atom, but that's so you can write code. It's a text manager or a project manager, so to speak, where you can create projects. And you can also connect to GitHub, but I did a video on it. You can check it out. But these are, you know, basically they're picks of software that you may want to install on here. And if we go down, like I said, these are the categories. It pushed it down because it was waiting for this to update. So now that it's updated, it'll always show down below. And then this will go through and show you the installed applications. So like I said, they have a bunch of updates. Say it's 16 updates available, but it's actually like 200 and some updates for all the different applications that are on here. So let me go through and actually show you what's actually installed on here. I'm gonna go through to the activities and click the show applications button. And if we hit that, that'll bring up all the applications that are on here. Pretty much all of them. So you got your basic applications like calculator, calendar, contacts, files, Firefox, Geary for mail. You got your office suite, which is LibreOffice, and then the pop shop, which we just went to. You know, that's the settings that I already went through. This is some system settings you can go through and change. So that's just some more settings. And then we got the terminal, text editor, and then some utilities. So archive manager, you know, Eddy, image viewer, screenshot, so you could take screenshots, extensions, document viewer, document scanner, and USB flasher and video. So those are some base utilities. And they also have the weather, so you can put in your zip code and it'll pull up the weather for your location. And also that'll update up here. You know, you can select your location. That's what that does. And that's pretty much all of the applications on here that come by default. Like I said, you can just go through that pop store and find whatever applications you need once you have the system up and running, and set up the system how you want to. And like I said, it has a base, file explorer. You can go through. It has all the folders that you need. Desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, public, template, and videos. And we go down here, we got a trash can, and then you can connect to other locations. That's like stuff on your network. Like if you have a Samba share set up, then you can connect to that here. And if we go right here to about files, that'll tell you what we're using. So files, this is basically a GNOME application, but it's 3.36. And there you have it. That's Pop! OS. Now, one last thing I wanted to show you guys before I close out the video. Let me go down and power off this virtual machine, and I'll be back in a second. And what I wanted to do was go down and show you guys System 76 right fast. and just show you some of the hardware that they have. I think they have some of the best Linux hardware out there, or laptops, desktops, you know, all that good stuff. They're just a little pricey, but it's well worth it with the type of hardware that you can select from. They have like multiple different laptops, and like I said, I'm not sponsored by System 76. I just wanted to show you guys these laptops, and I actually wanted to get one at one point, but I really wanted to get a AMD Ryzen laptop that's not too big as far as the thickness and the heavy, and how heavy some of those laptops can be because of the amount of cooling that they have to put in the laptops. I wanted something a little bit more thinner, but with the power for me to actually render and produce these videos that I do. But they have a couple cool laptops. Most of them are, you know, Intel up here. So they have the Loomer, the Daughter, the Giselle. I really wanted the Giselle because I really like a big screen, like a 17-inch or a 16.5 versus the 15 or 14-inch screen. I like to have that. Or the Onyx Pro. This one, I think, recently released not that long ago. I think it's a newer laptop that they came out with. But as you can see, they come with top-notch processors. Has a 4-core 10th generation i7 right here. This is the Loomer, the smallest one. And you can build the laptop. So that's one cool thing about it. So you go through and select what you want, and they'll build the laptop for you. But this was that thicker one that I was talking about. I may have wanted, but I like bigger screens. I was thinking about getting this at one point, but they have the 3rd generation AMD Ryzen desktop CPU. So that's why it's kind of thick. I don't know if you could tell the thickness is, you know, it's pretty big. Because it has a desktop CPU in it. So if you basically go in here and just hit design and buy, and this will allow you to go through and set up everything. You can they'll install Pop! OS for you, or you can specify that you don't want anything installed on it. I guess they force you for this one, but the other ones, I know the other laptops, you can specify that you don't want anything, you don't want Pop! OS on it. Or you could just put Ubuntu, you know, straight off. And then you can go through and select your graphics. So they have NVIDIA, you know, graphics cards. And then you can select your processor. And it goes up based on what you select. Like Ryzen 5, 3600, 12 cores, well, 6 cores, 12 threads. And then they got the Ryzen 7, 3700X. 8 cores, 16 threads, and this is the 3rd generation of AMD Ryzen CPUs. And then you select your memory, and like I said, once you select whatever you want, then it'll give you the total down below. They also have other options down here, like you can get a laptop bag. You can add more drives to the system. So that's one cool thing about it, man. And I just wanted to show you guys their website, and check it out for yourself, man. You may want to, if you want to get a Linux laptop that has the hardware designed for Linux, then this is a great place to actually get a laptop from. They have the best, you know, website community that I've seen as far as Linux laptops go. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Go on and check out Pop! OS. You can run it in a virtual machine, or you can install it or run the live USB and just test out the OS from there. But thank you guys for checking out the video, and you know I always end it with keep it techie.